hiermit grüße ich euch alle blutliebenden Zuschauer. Es ist wieder Donnerstag, es ist ein nebliger Donnerstag, es ist ein kalter Donnerstag, aber ich darf euch nichtsdestotrotz wieder herzlich begrüßen auf dem Captivate Channel. Ich bin euer Gastgeber, euer Host, eure bekannte Stimme aus dem Internet, der Mirko. Ich freue mich, euch wieder begrüßen zu dürfen. Das letzte Mal hatten wir ein kleines Fauxpas zum Ende hin, denn das Spiel hat sich im Menü aufgehangen, abgestürzt, ein Hardcrash sozusagen. Mal schauen, wo wir uns heute befinden. Ich hoffe, es hat regelmäßig gespeichert. Ich weiß auch nicht mal, wo wir waren, um ehrlich zu sein. Pembroke Hospital, okay. Ach, ich habe in den Trophys auch gelesen. Diese Pflanze zu gießen ist sogar eine davon. Also ich muss ja ganz ehrlich sagen, der Entwickler erlaubt sich hier wirklich einen Spaß mit uns. Hier haben wir alle Problemchen. Der hat seine Medizin bekommen, der hat seine Medizin bekommen. Die haben wir nicht gefunden. Und da ist, siehst du, den haben wir eigentlich geheilt. Den haben wir eigentlich an Medizin gegeben. Okay, alles klar. Die Nacht ist jung.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
So, nichts. Ich gehe in den Hafen. Zurück.
Hey, Doc.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Ich habe schon wieder angenommen. Genau, der hat Kopfschmerzen, da können wir nichts gegen machen. Ja, nichts. weiter geht's. So, einfach mal mitgenommen. Einfach mal mitgenommen. Ich weiß nicht, wo das Spiel das letzte Mal gespeichert hat. Ich versuche jetzt halt ein bisschen so die, das, was uns vielleicht entgangen ist. Immer wenn ich meine, wir spielen ja Spiel, das in England spielt, und wenn ich die Docs lese, lese ich immer zuerst.
Stop right now! Leech! One of them! That leech is fast!
Wir hätten uns vielleicht auch ein bisschen Dings und Dings herstellen können. Also, wir treten auf eine Gefahr. Blablabla.
This is despicable.
Ruhig. Und so, wenn man sich die Reviews auch von dem Spiel im Internet anguckt, wird so mehr oder weniger behauptet, dass es nur Vorteile gibt, wenn man als böser Vampir spielt.
It ain't human! Die, Berlin! Mind his teeth! Shit, that leech is fast!
Deswegen, ich bin da noch ein bisschen, ich meine, wir haben die ersten Leute, die jetzt ein bisschen so gereift sind. Aber ich bin ja immer noch ein bisschen unentschlossen. Ist nicht in allen Lebenslagen so. Oh ja, warte. Ich hab's was. Sogar den grünen Griff bekommen. Das ist sehr gut. Okay, aber die Teile haben wir schon alle aufgeschlossen. Also, weißt du, die Ratten findet der schlimm, aber so einem streunenden Vampir rumzulutschen ist ganz so, das ist ganz normal. Alltag. So, komm her, ich hab hier was für dich.
Yeah, yeah. Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Ach, stimmt. Falsche Bildschirm geguckt. Ja. Das ist ja auch interessant. Ich kann Missionen verfolgen, obwohl ich die... Oder habe ich die aufgeschnappt? Ich habe es einfach nicht mitbekommen. Also Geld brauchen wir nun wirklich nicht. Ist auch immer so interessant. Weißt du, da hat wirklich ein Entwickler sich da hinten dran gesetzt. Hat sich für das ganze, die ganze Mechanik, für das Geld und alles Mögliche, hat er sich Gedanken gemacht. Und im Endeffekt vergeudete Zeit. Vergeudete Entwicklungszeit, vergeudete Kreativitätszeit.
Over there! There's one of them easy does it, boys! Get back in the grave!
Au! Ah! Die da sind. Oh, sogar die werfen. Alles klar, also sogar die Sachen sind nicht an die Stärke der Gegner gebunden. Hi.
Murdering bastard!
Ruhig. Achso, hier geht ja dann zum Versteck. Da wollen wir nun wirklich nicht hin. Ich hoffe, es gibt einen Weg, um da drüber zu teleportieren. Get down. Get down. Wir müssen wirklich alles eine Runde laufen.
This place. Rain may have washed away the blood, but not the memory. My poor Mary. This is my watch. Damn grave robbers.
Schade, die Mary finden die nicht mehr. Und daraus geht's auch nicht. Das heißt, Wiener Cox, eine Händlerin und möchte gern Verbrecherboss der East End Dogs hat mich unverblümt gefragt, meine Position als Mediziner auszunutzen und in die gesperrte Gegend von Southwood zu gehen. Sie will, dass ich ein paar Totengräber zurechtweise, die ihr die wöchentliche Abgabe an Schmuck und Geld Totenstehlen nicht geliefert haben. Ich frage mich, ob ich dort Ich glaube, wir sagen ihr, dass die Leute, nicht, dass die Leute tot sind. Ich verberge die Wahrheit. Damit sie ihr ganzes Leben lang, ich hoffe, also das ist das, was ich jetzt, wenn ich das so lese, ich habe es gar nicht mehr so richtig auf dem Bildschirm. Und ich weiß jetzt gar nicht, wie wir hier rauskommen. Ich habe mich schon umgesehen, gell? Hier war ein bisschen nichts. Von allem etwas und im Endeffekt gar nichts Tolles. Ich kann es nicht lassen, ja. Das ist die Wahrheit.
There's one of them! Watch yourselves! Ah!
Ist da jemand, vielleicht da oben gerade jemand rumgelaufen? Hallo? Okay. Ich muss durch die Gießerei.
Stupid! We have to stop it! Ah! Back in the car!
ich habe gerade Weg schon genommen, ich wäre schon da, wo ich hin muss.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
I managed to reach the mass grave in Southwark. It was not pleasant.
Spare me the details, Dr. Reed. All I want to know is what happened to those bastards who owed me money.
Ja. Kannst in der Hölle schmoren.
I'm afraid they were nowhere to be found.
Bastards. Must have run away with the money they owed me. All right, I'll make another deal with their successors.
I'm not sure they'll have any successors. The place is abandoned by the living.
Maybe I'll send my boys there to loot the dead. Money is money, Doctor. By the way, here's a little something for your time and help.
I wish your boys good luck then. Tell me your feelings about Booth's belief in monsters, Edwina.
It makes him look weak in front of the boys, that's my feeling about it. But ghosts don't scare me.
You don't believe he really saw something then?
I don't care what he saw or not. All I know is that a real man keeps his fears to himself if he wants to be obeyed.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces around.
We don't.
Wenn man einmal so ein bisschen die Storystruktur und alles so verstanden hat. Hey Boys! Ich bin dem Navi gefolgt, das hat mich hierher gebracht. habe gerade wirklich angenommen, dass ich schon da bin, wo ich sein muss.
Leech spotted! Watch out, boys! He's dead!
Falsche Richtung. Einfach nur die falsche Richtung. Ja, ja. Rechts. Ich glaub, hier ist besser. Ne. Können wir hier, waren wir hier schon eigentlich?
I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
Ich dachte, ich hätte hier Geld auf dem Boden gesehen. Wichtig. Geld, unglaublich.
Lost boys will be more fitting now.
Tut mir leid, dass ich das mit der Karte immer mache, aber hey. Alles voller Poeten hier in London, gell? Alles Poeten. Das nächste Mal machen wir das auch. Das nächste Mal. Die zukünftigen Missionen werden wir auch erstmal uns angucken, wo die ganzen Missionen sich befinden, bevor wir anfangen, hier vor und zurück zu laufen. Das hätten wir uns hier nämlich sparen können. Das könnte doch hier sah es doch sehr zerstört aus.
Yes. The place has changed since the explosion, but it was definitely here. I should find some way to pay my respects. May all who suffered from this tragedy find or rest in peace.
Das war unsere erste. Hier gibt es keinen Crafting-Tisch. Ja. Das ist eine sehr gute Geschichte. Uiuiui, ist das gut. Ist das gut. Vier Enden soll es geben. Ja, was bedeutet, findet die Halskette? Ist sie an der Leiche? Liegt sie irgendwo in der Truhe? Warte mal ganz. Warte mal, ein Zacken. Sieh mal, vielleicht wird es ziemlich reizbar und nicht gerade friedlicher.
Lost boys will be more fitting now.
Die 3000 XP. Aber der Opa, der hat noch irgendwie mehr Ambitionen und Ziele als so ziemlich einige hier. Deswegen, der ist für mich noch nicht so dran. Dann rede mal mit dem.
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Oh, you're that doctor.
I found the location of the explosion, Mr. Delaney. I placed a flower for you where it happened, just as you asked.
Really? That's so kind. I never thought someone would... Well, thank you, Doctor.
It's nothing, really. And I'm sorry for your loss.
What? No, I didn't know them. No car was supposed to park there that day. Stupid bastard, why did he park there?
You're the man who hid that bomb.
I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone.
I want you to remember the bomb, Dyson. Tell me about it.
No, I don't want to remember it.
Why use a bomb? What were you trying to destroy?
The Dawson and Dawson ammunitions factory. A symbol of violence against the people. My group wanted to destroy it to send a message.
The victims. They were not the target then.
I spent so much time figuring out the perfect moment. I used a short fuse. No car had ever parked there. They all died.
I sense your guilt, Dyson. Why is that? Did you not think violence was an acceptable political tool?
I still believe our fight was just. By killing an innocent couple who were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. No way.
That bomb also killed you that day, don't you see? You just die a slower death, drink by drink.
I know. Maybe I deserve judgment. Until that day, I'll just be Dyson the drunk, not Dyson the murderer.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap...
How dare you say such a thing? I love...
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
So, und wo befindet sich jetzt diese verfluchte Halskette? Und ein kleines Kommentar, dieser Wichser. Aber das ist das, was passiert. Das ist das, was passiert. Achtung! Die Frau hat die Halskette in ihrem Verkaufsinventar.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Can I see what you have to sell?
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
Ah, schade. Das wäre aber eine sinnvolle Art und Weise gewesen, ein Inventar einzufügen.
Boys get what's coming to them.
to solve one.
I think I'm losing my mind. I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
I should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just enough.
Poor Jack. He didn't deserve this.
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess. No?
Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces round here.
Perhaps we should listen to what the idiot had to say first. You again. What do you want?
I know you believe monsters are real, Booth.
They are. I know, I saw one, but no one believes me.
Tell me what you saw.
It was a few years ago. Clay Cox was still the boss then. He'd sent me to the shipyard to find out who was stealing tools and ropes at night.
Go on.
First I thought it was an old lady with a limp. It looked frail and crooked. Then I saw it grab a bloody beam and lift it like it was a stick. I shouted. It looked straight at me.
Do you know what it was?
It was all eyes and long teeth, but I couldn't see its face. I shot at it when it moved towards me and I hit it. And then it jumped and vanished in the shadows.
You could have imagined all that. These docks can be so gloomy at night. With the fog and the wind and the boats creaking.
No, Doctor. That night I saw the fucking sewer dog for real. It's not a beast like the stories say. It's the ghost of an old woman. Bullets can't stop it. No one believes me.
Are your friends mocking you?
Even Edwina told me once to never speak about it, but I know what I saw. And it wasn't a human. Not human at all.
Sehr interessant.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Also ich weiß ja nicht, wie solche Spiele allgemein ankommen, aber das ist ein großer Teil meiner Spielerkarriere. So, laufen wir die Maps mal systematisch ab. Fangen wir mal hier unten an. Weil, wo soll er denn seine Halskette verloren haben? Ich meine, er läuft doch immer hier entlang. Hier läuft er doch immer hin und her. Wir laufen mal hier hinten rum. Ne, ich glaube, da sind wir schon hinten rumgelaufen. Dann waren wir hier, haben wir festgestellt, dass wir dann zu weit weg waren. Wir drehen jetzt wieder um und schauen mal, dass wir... Keine Ahnung, Mann. Keine Ahnung, wo das sein soll.
Don't forget to keep an eye out for this garden. Something sweet. My guess is they're recruiting some vengeance.
In the meantime, the boys are waiting for
Na, meine Vermutung ist, das ist in seiner Nähe. Irgendwo hier, wo seine Patrouille läuft. Hat das einfach mal verloren. Oder war er vielleicht oben irgendwo? Nee. Wenn es nicht hier irgendwo ist, dann ist es das auch nicht hier. Kommen wir ja nicht raus. Alles klar. Ich glaube, ich habe einen Ansatz. Das ist, glaube ich, gut. Oh, Gott sei Dank. Ach, schade. Ja, das Kaliumgedöns, das fehlt uns. Aber doch haben wir von allem genug im Grunde. Warum? Wir sollten sonst wieder Sachen machen im Grunde.
wet boot boys. Lost boys will be more fitting now.
Ja, irgendwie übersehe ich da etwas.
I cannot enter.
Explains so much.
Ja. Alles klar, das können wir also auch nicht machen. Weil der hat die Halskette nicht verloren. Ich sage, der Rufus hat die Halskette von ihm geklaut. Um der alten Dame seine Dankbarkeit zu zeigen. Alles klar. Ich bin schon beinahe überzeugt, dass es genau so ist, wie ich gerade sage. Und aus dem Grund machen wir jetzt einfach weiter. Wir haben hier eigentlich gar nichts mehr zu tun. Wir gehen jetzt zur Whitechapel. Ja, genau so wird das jetzt geschehen. Ich kann gar nicht sagen.
Finish it! It's an each!
Ich muss mein Loadout ja bearbeiten, wenn ich schon so mächtig geworden bin. So, jetzt Dreieck für Blutaufnahme. Ja, und was passiert, wenn wir jetzt hier runtergehen?
He's mine! I'll take it! Bloody crime!
It's locked, all right.
Also meine Vampir-Fähigkeiten können mich jetzt nicht da hoch teleportieren, oder was? Schwach. Schwach, schwach, schwach. Und hier zu unseren Brücken können wir nicht weiter, weil da ist die Tür. Mann, also ich will ja schon beinahe nicht glauben wollen, dass wir da nicht hoch können. Oder waren wir da schon drin und das ist ein Missionsgebiet? Komisch.
One of them! Fucking
Okay. Okay. Was war das für eine Giftwolke nochmal? War das Knoblauchwolken oder haben wir nicht etabliert, dass Knoblauch nicht das ist, was es für Vampire sein soll? Was? Okay. Caution. Keep out.
There's one of them vermin! Snap it, leech! Hey, leech! I'll put an end to you! That's all you deserve!
Mann. Warte, das gibt das so aus wie ein Hinterhof, oder täuscht mich da? Hinterhof. Auf der Karte sah es sehr abgegrenzt aus, also
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye, but the guards recruiting more and more every year. Stupid beast!
Mann, das hätte so schön werden können. Ihr müsst ja alles verderben.
That's a like fire, doesn't it? Burning! Best be on your way home.
Was eine verzwickte Gegend. Ich glaube, wir sind hier auch falsch. Aber nee. Na komm, wir gehen erstmal an den Typ vorbei.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
So, das ist aber ein Endgegner.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman. Go on, off your trot. It's a leak! Shit, that leech is fast!
Wir haben es zum Missionsziel geschafft.
I cannot enter.
You cannot. I can say that. Okay.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
War das nur eine Information? Ach so, nee.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert! Stop it! Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Du hast ein leichtes Ziel ausgesucht. Ich verstehe ab und zu nicht. Vielleicht hat er dich ja verwechselt. Nein.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
Du bist so naiv. Aber du kennst die Risiken.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away. Bloody hell. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just failed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
I'm not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
The word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Ha! Wo finden wir... Wo finden
A
wir...
gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Finden wir eigentlich die Zubereitung der Medikamente durch Story oder müssen wir die verstehe ich gerade nicht. Und was ist das? Ist das ein Dungeon? Das muss ein Dungeon sein. Ein Ring. Sehr viele Tote. Interessant. Einfach nur ein Safe House. Ja, und da wir uns gerade hier befinden, ich mache mal kurz eine Auszeit. Bis gleich. So, da sind wir auch schon wieder. Ich hoffe, ihr habt euch alle auch eine kurze Pause gegönnt. Falls ihr überhaupt so lange durchgehalten habt. Ach ja. Ah. Da ist ja jemand zu Hause. So, ich bin super überzeugt, dass ich habe ja nur die erste Stufe freigeschaltet, gerade von dieser Schattenform. Und ja, ich habe irgendwie das Gefühl, Was ist das? Also, das war ja gerade eine Stufe 14 Gegner. Ich frage mich, warum dieses Spiel laden muss, um in dieses Safehouse zu kommen. Oder ist es bei den anderen auch so? Komisch. Ich laufe jetzt nicht noch mal die Runde da. Oh Gott, stimmt. Ach mein Gott. Naja, auf jeden Fall, jetzt irgendwo bin ich dann doch froh. Das wird dann doch nochmal. Was ist denn dann, wenn wir hier durchgehen? Und ich wollte ja noch genau Sulfat, Ilium, nee, 9 Stück nur. Also die blauen sind die besten, weil die geben dieses Kalium, Permanganate und Gedöns. Das wir dafür brauchen. Nee, das brauchen wir für alles. Oh. Uiuiui. Wo kommen wir denn hier jetzt bitte raus? Und da gehen die Kniescheiben. Ich habe gerade eine rosige Pille gelesen. Was hat es mit den Ringen auf sich, sag mal?
Sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Ich habe gedacht, der heult.
cause of men should not be your main concern. The disease upon us is not an accident of nature, but the punishment of a divine will.
Nee, wir wollen jetzt. Wir finden jetzt den Darius, keine Ahnung wie der heißt.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Oh. Vampyr. Skags, oder wie die heißen.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Mhm.
Right
Und was
then.
hat er so?
Show me what you have.
Da ist ja das Zeug. Und das kaufen wir auch. Und hat auch die blauen hier. Die zwei kaufen wir ihm auch ab. Was soll ich jetzt sonst aufwenden, meiner Meinung nach? Danke.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really?
Das
But
ist sehr
still,
low
here I
poly
am.
dafür, dass er
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
das Gesicht noch nicht geladen,
I'm Joe
oder
Peterson's son.
kriege ich
A
da...
colossus joke at most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle, for their dirty work.
Also sind Sie ein Krimineller.
You are a criminal who endorses criminal activity. The least you could do is stop hiding behind this pretense.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Jetzt geht's los.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Doch wo ziehen sie die Grenze? Das macht irgendwie das, keine Ahnung, das ist Fakt, keine Ahnung, das weiß er. Das ist Unsinn für ihn, deswegen bleibt meiner Meinung nach.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad. And dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought? Quite a judge.
But you are...
I am. Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Das hat aus dem Lied geklaut.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Das muss eine anstrengende Persönlichkeit sein. Ich stelle mir nur vor, mit dem ein Bier zu trinken oder sowas. Wer bist du denn?
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
Oh la
All
la.
right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Die ist ja auch eine harte.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Many people must deal with poverty, but not all choose to sell their bodies. That was your decision.
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what, or when you were going to eat?
Ich habe mir gedacht, fragt
Do
die
you know
andere
Nurse
Frage.
Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Ja, ich gebe dir mal das
Change your
Antidot.
mind, Mr. Reed?
Hier, mal was Gesundes zum Schlucken.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Ich bin sehr angetan von dem Spiel. Das ist jetzt nicht vielleicht der schnellste Speedrun. Hey boy. Hey boy.
It's locked.
Das gibt's doch nicht. Ich Beine übersehen, ja. Boah, du siehst ein bisschen... Also wenn man so ein bisschen dahinter gekommen ist, wie das Kampfsystem funktioniert, nicht nur das, auch wenn man, ich sag's mal, so ein bisschen die Option freigeschaltet hat, um sich zu wehren. Ja, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Beil, 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 meine Liebe. Oh, hi. Ich hab's direkt auf der Karte gesehen.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that.
Kommt es nur mir so
stray
vor, da
poet who
ist das
is
Spiel
always
gerade
about.
sehr grob.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned. Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Das ist auch gut. Da gibt es genau das, was wir brauchen. Ich muss da oben rumbedummen. Oh. Mann. machen denn all die Werwölfe hier? Oder war das einfach nur so eine Falle?
You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Ja, was soll ich dazu sagen?
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Yeah.
Sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Ich werde mit der Wahrheit gehen. Das ist,
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Wir können uns ja immer noch ihn kümmern, wenn wir nicht, dass die wollen, dass die Wahrheit ans Tageslicht wird.
Journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Die haben ihn doch hier alles platt gemacht. Ach, das andere rumherum. Selbstverständlich. Ein kleiner Straße, Gutschein. Suchen ist sich im Lohnfeld.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. It's locked, all right. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Goodbye then.
Ich meine, auch nur weil sie stumm ist, ne, muss es ja nicht gleich so eine Standard-Default-Animation sein, weißt du? Sie kann ja nicken, sie kann ja irgendeinen Charakter haben, aber sie wackelt hin und her wie so ein Kerl. Wie der letzte NPC, mit dem wir gesprochen haben, so nach dem Motto.
It's not my call, Barrett.
Ja, aber die Tür ist doch zu.
You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other?
Okay. Ich kann mich auch täuschen. Mein Freund. Freundchen. Das ist nicht der Poet.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Friedliche Stille, wirklich? Ja, ich gehe damit, ja.
That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Whatever.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Hat er eine Krankheit?
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Wenn wir was haben, gehen wir. Wir fangen jetzt
Good
mal
evening to you
an.
too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Ja.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Morbidity can breathe its own beauty.
Sehr gut. Ja. Ein bisschen kreatives Blut könnte also auch nicht schaden. Und das wäre doch was, wenn zu dem Blut noch ein bisschen Nino Kuni beigemischt würde. Also mit den Emotionen, damit man dann die einzelnen Emotionen gegeneinander aushebeln muss. Ach ja. Ach, jetzt sollen wir einen Weg in sein Haus finden. Jetzt ist es soweit. Wir haben wieder... Mit wem haben wir es jetzt noch? Der kuriert sich aus. Benjamin Palmer, der hat Migräne. Also wir haben Erschöpfung, Migräne und Erschöpfung. Bronchitis. Und Migräne. Okay, also dann gehen wir jetzt zum die Prostituierte gehört hier nicht dazu. Doch, doch, hier. Der Reporter, der ist direkt hier. Erschöpfung.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Haben wir
Goodbye,
nicht.
Mr. Darby.
Bye.
Farewell.
Gegen Bronchitis haben wir was? Ja, haben wir. Deswegen, wir brauchen nur Erschöpfung zweimal. Wo ist hier mein Safehouse? Wirklich nur diese eine Furzsequenz ist komplett extra rausgeladen worden aus dem Spiel. Natürlich, ich vermute optimierungsbedingt, aber irgendwie verstehe ich das nicht. Und trotzdem ist es verschwommene Texturen und so, jetzt basteln wir zuerst eins davon. Na, wir brauchen Nelkenextrakt. Das haben wir hier jetzt alles aufgebraucht. Okay, okay. Ja, und jetzt haben wir das was. Weißt du was? Wir machen noch ein drittes gegen Erschöpfung. Weil dann haben wir auch dann gleich eins anderes. Wir haben genug von dem Shit. Von dem Unsinn. Oh. Sehr gut. Ach du liebe Güte. Also mit 3000 Erfahrungspunkten brauchen wir überhaupt erst gar nicht anzufangen, uns aufzuwerten. Sag ich. Wir kommen dann kaum stärker raus. Ich ziele jetzt irgendwie so 6000 an, weil noch nicht mal ein Problem damit, die Gegner so irgendwie zu plätten. Keine Ahnung, schwer finde ich das nicht. Ich weiß gar nicht, ist man zeitlich begrenzt, wie oft man Nein!
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have
Ach
caught
du
during my
liebe Güte, ich bin
investigation.
gerade...
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Der ist gesund.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
You again? What do you want this time?
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Hat nicht einer von den beiden. Albert Palmer.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Science fails you. This elixir will give you faith again.
Ich habe gerade gefragt, ob die hier schon waren. Dann sehe ich den, da hinten in der Ecke den offenen Koffer. Dann stelle ich fest, dass es hier überhaupt gar nichts Interessantes gibt. Verraten, okay.
Sick and suffering. Me, I'm not dying some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lovey.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me. Oh, boy.
I cannot enter. Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
It's locked.
Ich glaube, das zählt als Sammelobjekt. Es tut mir leid, Mann. Du stehst einfach da und ich raub dich aus. Hier, danke für dein Kleingeld. Ach, schön, dass du so viel Kleingeld...
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name.
It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes, his manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the art.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
So.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Do you need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
Well, I think you do. Take this, and you'll feel better.
Free drugs from an English doctor? It must be my lucky day.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Nicht mit mir. Ach, der liebe Güte. Viva la Revolution! Wir können uns ja auch entscheiden, nicht alles zu plündern. Wir können ja auch genauso gut hier den bösen Vampyr mimen.
I need help!
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along? We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. To what do I owe this courtesy?
Ja.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Wir könnten sie aussaugen eigentlich. Das machen wir auch. In den Bann ziehen, das verstehe ich nicht. Naja, ich weiß es nicht. Ich weiß es nicht. Ich weiß es nicht. Was soll ich machen? Nein! Ich werde sie nicht aussaugen. Noch nicht. Weil der Bezirk alle ein paar Tage später. Das ist ein guter Happen. Und mal gucken, was wir daraus machen können. Wir werden die Angelegenheit einfach wegschauen. Sie soll ja nur das Blackmailen aufhören.
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Ich bin der Vampir mit dem Knüppel. Alles klar. Erstatte Lady Ashbury Bericht, das machen wir noch und dann haben wir einen Blut zu untersuchen und so und weiter und so fort. Oh! Was ist das denn, Alter? So und so. Auf zur Berichterstattung.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Sick and suffering. I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
It's locked. Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Cross the leech, boy! I'll take its head!
Up.
That's what you do with leech.
Was ist denn jetzt auf einmal los? Ich wollte gerade sagen, das wird ja ein super Abschluss. Da kommt doch so ein Mist zusammen. Und das mache ich nicht mit. Mann.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Nein! Ich hätte nicht in die Giftwolke reingehen sollen dürfen müssen, unbedingt. Das war ein bisschen taktisch unklug. Viele Dinge sind schiefgelaufen in diesem Abend. In diesem glorreichen Abend sind einige Dinge falsch gelaufen. Komisch. Immer wenn man anfängt zu sterben, hat man irgendwie Kommentare auf einmal, über die man sich unterhalten kann. Als ob man das Bedürfnis hat, den Leuten zu erklären, warum man denn eigentlich jetzt gestorben ist.
Human blood.
Mann, ey.
Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Einfach nur Aggression. Die pure Aggression. Was ist denn das hier? Ah. Ich erinnere mich. Wer kämpft denn hier? Warum?
I cannot enter.
Touch me with your disgusting hands!
Da haben sie sich hier einen Unterschlupf gesucht, gefunden. Wurden wahrscheinlich überfallen.
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages. This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Heilmittel für Blindheit. Das haben wir dann auch gemacht. Das ist ja wunderschön.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
We are vampires. We live by leeching the blood from weaker prey. We are Darwin's next chapter, his cynical and perhaps ultimate expression.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
So, jetzt kriegen wir erstmal eine Story haben.
Known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker, He left this isle a long time ago.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Scowl?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution. and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Mhm. Hab ich nie gehört.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I bid you farewell, for now, my lady.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Dr. Punjabi ist weg. Ach nein, Dr. Punjabi ist auf der anderen Seite.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Ausdauerserum. Was ist das für ein Unsinn?
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Skulls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
So, wollen wir noch mit ihm reden? Ich glaube, das machen wir noch. Was spricht denn dagegen, mit Dr. Swansea zu plappern?
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, It's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
Oh, this is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
Ach du liebe Güte. Mhm. Sehr spannend. Ja, aber Zeit der Zeit entrinnt, Tempus fugit. Ich finde, wir haben hier einen sehr guten Punkt erwischt, um aufzuhören. Ja, ich werde da nicht aufwerten. Ich will, keine Ahnung, warum, aber noch will ich mal gucken. Ich will den Schwierigkeitsgrad oben halten. Ich habe ja gemerkt, dass das Spiel recht simpel ist. Oder wir einfach zu stark. Ich weiß nicht, was es ist. Siehst du eins noch? Jetzt weiß ich auch, wofür man Geld ausgeben muss, weil das sind dann diese Dinge, die man dann braucht. Oh. Ja, 6 Stück. Naja. Wie gesagt, es bleibt spannend. Ich finde das Spiel genial. Also es macht Spaß zu spielen. Und es bleibt weiterhin. Und ich entscheide jetzt auch, der Hammer fällt. Wir machen es zu Ende. Und mir fällt nichts Besseres ein, was ich spielen will. Und das Spiel, das kratzt gerade so an einem Punkt, an einer Nische, die ja, sehr gut ist. Aus dem Grund, wie immer, Dankeschön fürs Zusehen. Und wie immer, schaltet auch nächsten Dienstag ein, wenn es wieder weitergeht mit Vampyr. Ich bin euer Gastgeber, der Mirko, und ich wünsche euch eine gute Nacht. Auf Wiedersehen und reingehauen. Ciao.